Hey, Dude Faxians, we are so excited for you to listen to this week's episode of the Dude Fax podcast. It's our ode to moms. It's going to be great. In fact, we have a very special guest today in the podcast. You're not going to want to miss it. We think you'll love it. You'll notice I'm wearing my Dude Fax t-shirt, the official one. If you're looking for this, you're not going to find it just yet. Our merch store is closed for the time being. That's because we're developing some new merch for you. And when everything's done, that merch store will open back up and you can fulfill your wildest dreams when it comes to Dude Fax merchandise. So keep your eyes and ears open for when that happens. Also, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to all of our social feeds, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, MySpace, Zynga, all those things. You want to make sure you stay on top of the latest news for the Dude Fax. All right, here we go. If you're ready, tune in. The podcast is about to start.
Affirmative.
Welcome to the Dude Fax podcast. Four guys united by their love for coffee and corny jokes come together to talk about Christian culture and the ups and downs of ministry. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of joe, and enjoy. The podcast starts now.
Affirmative.
All right, friends, Romans, and countrymen, lend me your ears. This is the Dude Fax podcast, and welcome to our ode to mothers. And check out our merch that we're wearing. Josh and I got look at Ryan's. Looks real good. Grant is just doing the beating heart thing. But yeah, we got our cool Dude Fax swag. So thanks to Rocket Shirts for designing such cool Dude Fax swag for us, and we hope that you're going to get some in your hands pretty soon. But we are doing an ode to mothers. Mother's Day is happening this weekend as we're recording this. Not this weekend, but obviously you're hearing it on Monday, so it will be this weekend. But we want to remind you to make sure to get your mama a little token of appreciation, but most importantly, call her. Make sure that you talk to her and tell her you love her. And let her know you're around. But in addition to this cast of clowns that we are always on the podcast today, we're joined by Josh's mom, who is amazing, and she is hanging out with us clowns. And so, Josh, do you want to introduce your mom to us?
You kind of just did, but if you're watching, this is my mom, and her name is Mom, or Mommy, whatever you feel comfortable calling her. If you're listening, she's here. Her name is Nora Phillips, and she is the best mom in the world. You might think yours is, but you would be wrong. My mom is number one. All other moms are number two because they're all great. But my mom, just is just a little bit above all the other ones. Mom, thanks for being on here with us.
Glad to. I hope you're not sorry.
There you go.
Okay. I'm glad to be on with you. I hope you're not sorry.
I kind of hope you don't regret this.
Me too.
So since we do have a live mom here with us today, and we're talking about Mother's Day, maybe it's better for you to tell us what a mom would appreciate from their children on Mother's Day. So what would you appreciate getting on Mother's Day?
Let me get a note and a pen real quick.
You better. I would just like to see them. And I know that's not always possible, especially since he moved far away and my other son moved even further away. So I guess the phone call would be great. Or a present if you want to send it. I don't care.
And you could FaceTime her with an iPhone, but you don't have one anymore.
Yep. She doesn't have an iPhone either, so
I don't have one. I barely learned how to do this. Okay.
We did FaceTime through Facebook Messenger yesterday. We figured it out, even though I'm on an Android. It's all good.
All right. Well,
just took a few extra steps, right?
Well, we are getting into the mind of a mom here today as we talk about our moms and our ode to moms. And as guys, we usually try to read women's minds as men. And so this is going to be valuable intel, I think. But speaking of reading minds, before we really get into our topic today, this is a creepy thing that I heard is happening this week. And maybe you guys heard this. So we've talked a little bit about AI on this podcast. And just this week, it was reported that AI is now being used to read people's minds. And apparently it's having some success. In fact, the president, Biden, this week held a meeting with experts in the field of AI. And apparently there are some of these experts that are claiming that this technology is becoming dangerous, and they're warning us that it's progressing too rapidly. So apparently Terminator, Age of Ultron, all that is stuff that could be around the corner. But I got to thinking, as I was thinking about just the idea of AI reading people's minds, if you could get your hands on this technology, whose mind are you reading and what do you want to know? So just want to hear from all of you guys. What would you want to use this technology for?
I would love to always be able to read my wife's mind. And for the reason that I don't know what I'm doing, if it's right or wrong. I'm just lost.
For things like Mother's Day gifts and anniversaries and birthdays, right?
Actually, my wife is pretty good about sharing what's on her mind. She's kind of an open book. I think I would like to know before it reaches her tongue, though, what it is, so that I can go in reverse and then fix it.
You guys ever seen the movie with, I think, Mel Gibson? It's called What Women Want. And he just hears everything that's going on in their minds. And it's sort of like a curse to him because he's hearing everything. And so he's not only hearing the things that they want, but he's also hearing things that he probably doesn't want to hear. Things that we probably all are better off not knowing when it comes to what people are thinking.
It's probably most of the things that we'd hear in that situation. Like negative things about us. I wish I could have it and just mount it in my car. That way I could read the minds of other drivers to know when they're going to turn without using their signal.
Because it's a 931, baby.
That's true.
We're talking artificial intelligence in general, right? What would we use it for? Like, whose mind would we want to read with AI?
Yeah.
Dude, my dog.
That's a good one. I didn't think about that.
Kramer just sits there all day, every day. I wonder what he thinks of me.
Is anything like my cat?
Somebody left a turd on the bathroom floor.
Probably Kramer.
My mom's on here, guys.
I've heard that before. It's okay. I've got 2 sons.
Well, you have a lot of experience with that.
Is Josh now a suspect?
At least.
So we do have to ask. We have you on here as a representative of mothers, as Josh's mom, and luckily we can ask you directly. We don't have to try and read your mind. But how many of the Dude Fax podcast episodes have you actually listened to?
Oh, a lot of them. Maybe 15.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good. Like Josh is shocked.
Are you lying or are you telling the truth?
I'm telling you the truth. I had to know to find out if you are still around or not.
Oh.
That's all you
Now, how far do you live?
Well, do you still love me after listening to those? Are you still proud of me?
Yes, I am. Because I didn't know you had such a sense of humor and wealth of knowledge.
That's Mom, have you bought a Dude Fax t-shirt?
No, I'm expecting to get one free.
I know what you're getting for Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah.
That will work. That will
Now
work.
you just need the AI to read her mind and which color to get.
Tell me, Josh, what color?
What color? I can get it in 48 different colors. I would probably go with a lavender for you.
No.
Oh man.
That's the old way.
Man, striking out here.
What color?
Mm-hmm.
What? Say it again. What color?
I didn't say. I'm
Is
telling
she
you.
breaking up? Oh, okay.
You have to guess.
Well, you're
Oh, I still
supposed
have to guess. What
what
about-
color.
Is she breaking up for you guys?
Yes.
Mom, you might need to sit inside closer to your wireless router.
Oh, I have to move inside?
Do you think it's recording her okay, Jeff? Or
It's possible because I know sometimes it will do that.
So you can't hear me well.
yeah, see if you can. Well, we can hear you. It's just breaking up,
Okay.
and we don't know if it's going to record well. See if you can go inside where you get maybe a better
Okay.
signal from
All
your
right.
internet.
I just dropped you.
Mom,
I've got
it's
to
okay.
find a light spot.
What's going on in there? Somebody
Uh-huh.
starting up a chainsaw?
Is there a
Can you-
chair
can
in
you-
Dad's office? And I can see you really well there.
Can you see me well here? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
just try right
I hear you
here.
really good.
All right. All right, I'm sitting down.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see if this does any better. Okay, so I still have to choose what color you want. Do I get one more guess?
One more, now then I'll tell you.
I'm gonna go with a mint green.
That would be very close.
Ooh,
Okay.
not bad.
Any kind of
Okay.
green. Any kind of green.
Any kind of green. Okay. Okay. There you go.
Okay.
Do
All
you
right.
like this color?
Well, it looks gray to me.
It's a military green.
That would be okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay. we
You know,
got that
I should have been more strategic because I could have bought one of those in your color, Josh, and worn it under my uniform, which would have been cool. So,
Could have.
too bad. Well, speaking of reading minds, we're very fortunate to not always have to read the mind of our viewers because our viewers and listeners leave comments for us and tell us what they're thinking, which is great. And we love it. So, Ryan, what comments do we have this week? And also, you have to reveal to us which pickup line from last week's episode did our listeners say was the best?
Oh yeah. So
Hey, real quick, I just have to say, Jeff, that was a high quality transition there. Well done.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Been practicing.
I'll tell you what. Let's start with the pickup line. We'll move on into the comments. So, as chosen by our viewers and Instagram followers, the winner for the best pickup line from last week was one said by yours truly. Just call me Jonah because I'm going to show you a whale of a time. And we're still waiting on.
Congratulations.
We're still waiting on somebody to use that line and record it and show us the results.
Okay.
I know they work.
Mom, did you listen to last week's episode when we talked about Christian pickup lines?
I did not.
Okay. Is Dad right there?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Will you say to him, repeat after me. Will you say to him, wait, how does it start, Ryan? Are you some kind of Jonah?
It says, just call me Jonah.
Okay. Say to Dad, just call me Jonah
Just call me Jonah
because I'm going to show you a well of a time.
because I'm going to show you a whale of a time. He liked that one.
It's all in delivery. That was great delivery.
It was a great delivery. All right, go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
No, you're good. That was great.
That's awesome.
And so moving on from that, from our chosen by our Instagram followers, so moving on to some YouTube comments, we had a plethora of comments from Tad this week, which we always love hearing from Tad. I did have a couple that were my favorites, though. Tad said, I love shopping at Publix, especially at the Madison Street store. It seems to be the best place to shop in Clarksville, because Kroger's just, every time I go to Kroger, I feel like it goes downhill even more every week. And then he also said, you hit it, Jeff, don't leave your shopping cart in the middle of the parking lot and surprise people and take it back in the store. So, we talked about kindness last week. That's a great way to be kind. And let's see, we also had a comment from Tyler. So we talked a lot about last week about drivers, and Clarksville drivers especially being some of the worst around. Tyler, me and him actually were talking during the week, and he commented on here. So he said, I was talking to Ryan about this earlier, and honestly, Antioch might have the worst place to drive. And this is for me living in Clarksville in the past. For example, on Murfreesboro Road, if you have a driver in the fast lane and a driver in the slow lane, driving not necessarily at the same speed, someone behind them will get frustrated and will pass the cars in the turning lane. I've also seen it where another car thought the car in the turning lane was driving too slow and passing people, and then they went into the lane with opposite traffic to pass them. And it says, when my roommate and I are driving around all the time, we always have a story where someone drove incredibly stupid. He said, I'm also pretty sure that all the underground street racers live in Antioch. So,
which is so surprising. That's the first place people were called Christians.
It's true. Bag of wolves.
Yep, Antioch, Tennessee.
Oh.
What'd you say, Mom?
I said that was a good one. I didn't pick up on that when he said it.
Thanks, Josh's mom.
It's one of the few good ones, Mom.
Okay.
Just
Blind squirrel. But yeah, so that's our comments for the week. I want to encourage everybody to go out and, after listening to this week's episode, go comment and tell us, everybody tell us your favorite story about your mom. I want to hear about those moms and how cool everybody's moms is.
That's right.
Hey, got you covered.
Josh, that's
So speaking,
say again.
Josh, that's time for you to come in and say something good about your mom.
Mm-hmm. I will.
Okay.
He's saving it up. It's going to be good.
My mom is the only mom that came on the podcast.
Oh,
I don't know if we asked any other ones, but my mom's here.
That's true. Well, speaking of moms being on the podcast, we oftentimes, or just about every time, unless he's not here, like he was not here last week, we have a joke from Grant, and it is our sensual dad joke of the week. We thought, because it is going to be Mother's Day, and we have a mom who gave of her time to hang out with us today, that maybe we would get a joke from a mom joke. So I hear you have a couple of jokes for us that you wouldn't mind sharing with us.
Sure, I'll be glad to.
And we might have some music in the background for
we
you.
need to set up some music for her.
Dun, dun, dun. Mothers of teens understand why some animals eat their young.
Oh, that's it.
That's accurate.
What are you saying, Mom?
I like it.
I have one more. This is the problem with a lot of our teens today. You know why a computer is so smart? Because it listens to his motherboard.
We might need to cut the music. Hey, tell that one again, Mom.
But I gave it so good the first time. Why is the computer so smart? Because he listens to his motherboard.
Nice.
That's it.
Actually, that one was more of a if it will play. Jesus Juke.
Jesus Juke.
There we go.
Listen to their motherboard.
There we go. All right. Thank you so much for telling mom jokes and saving us from Grant's dad joke this week. So
let the record show that Mrs. Josh's mom found my earlier joke funny. Thank you.
Yes, I did.
Hey, Mom, so you listen to these, do you think Grant is funny?
Sometimes.
Hey, and looks aren't everything.
So are you and everybody else on there.
That's right.
You all try to outdo each other.
Josh, I'm special just like everyone else, okay?
Well, we are extremely thankful to be talking about moms today. Obviously, I think a subject that is near and dear to all of our hearts as we like to talk about our moms, and we're going to get the opportunity to do that here in just a moment. But we are thankful that you have stuck with us for this first half of the Dude Fax podcast. And so coming up after this short break, we are going to deep dive into our ode for mothers. And we're going to hear from a mother and hopefully hear embarrassing stories about Josh. So you want to stick around and listen to the second half of the podcast. Thank you for listening.
Watch your language in front of the lady, punk!
Hey, Dude Faxers, thank you for tuning into today's podcast, our Mother's Day special, the Ode to Mothers. Hey, guess what? Since we recorded this podcast, which was on May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo, the voting has actually changed since what you just heard, if you listened to the first part, on the best Christian pickup lines. Instead of Ryan's Jonah line winning, the other line that Ryan said about the book of Numbers is actually the one that's now in the lead because of you. And that's how awesome you guys are. You continue to plug in with us on social media. So get on our Instagram, get on our TikTok. We share little funny clips on there, our Facebook as well. And check out other ways of connecting with Dude Fax Podcast and comment. We love comments. Your comments can be on the show. Share videos, show pictures of you listening to the Dude Fax Podcast. We'll show that. Wearing Dude Fax merch, all that stuff. Do it. And listen to the rest of the podcast now.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Dude Fax podcast, especially if you listen to the first section. We're glad that you stuck with us. If you're getting on right now, our topic today are moms and why they are so awesome. This is actually our Ode to Moms podcast. And we have a mom with us. In fact, not just a mom, the mom. And it's my mom, Miss Nora. Mom, thanks again for being on with us.
Glad to.
Are you regretting this yet?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay, all right.
Oh, just wait.
Only get warmed up.
That's right. And I said in the first part that my mom was the best mom. And Mom, do you agree with that?
Well, I hope so. That's all I can say. I tried.
Okay. You tried. You did very well. Would you say that you are the best mom ever?
Would I lie? No.
Oh, come on. You're just being modest.
No,
I won't make you say why you're the best mom, but it's probably your potato salad.
I knew that. That's why when Nate came up last, he sent a note that he was coming to visit and he'd take us out to eat unless I made meatloaf and mashed potatoes.
Ooh.
And you did.
And
it
I did.
Delicious.
Yeah,
So
why go out to eat if you can have meatloaf and mashed potatoes at home?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go around and just talk about why we think our mom is the best. So I'm just going to go around in the order you guys are on my screen. Grant, you are immediately to my right. Why is your mom the best mom?
My mom is the best mom because she birthed a legend. Not to toot my own horn, but I mean, I was her womb mate, and when she evicted me, we started making memories right away. I mean,
Look, he got my mom rubbing her head.
We were best friends.
Oh my goodness!
I'm sure she's proud right now.
Go, or is that?
She should be. Hey, Mom, you're welcome.
She probably was until just then.
Yeah.
What have I done?
Actually, I had a phone call with my brother, and I found out that I'm the only one actually sending my mom a gift. And I have been for like the last 10 years, so I know I'm her favorite.
Oh, man.
I lectured him about it. We'll see.
He's got to step up his game.
Yeah. He does.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Jeff, why do you think your mom's the best mom?
So my mom is awesome. My mom is, in her 60s, and she came out to my son's baseball game the other day, and he had a game where he had a tough game at the plate, and she called him up the next day and said, "Hey, let's go out, and I'm going to throw some pitches to you." Not many grandmas are going out and doing that with their grandsons. And that's the way she was with me too. I'd go in the backyard, throw a baseball with her. She was always very athletic. Both my mom and dad love sports. But that was cool. But also she's just a lady of conviction. And I think instilled that into me, specifically godly conviction, and has always been that. And so that's one of the many reasons why, I deeply respect her and love her. And besides the fact that she's always been there for me, and she makes some amazing home cooked meals as well. So if I can have her lasagna, yeah, I'd opt to do that rather than go to like Olive Garden or any other Italian place.
Is Olive Garden really Italian?
No, I could go off on a tangent on Olive Garden. I had it last week. I would rather have Fazoli's, to be honest. But for a different show.
It's a toss-up. Right.
Yeah, this is about moms, not Fazoli's.
That's our ode to Italian food show. Ryan, what makes your mom the best mom?
My mom is amazing because I graduated high school and moved, midway north across the country, and she still loves me, so that's good. My mom has always been one of my biggest supporters in everything I've ever done, whether it was soccer, baseball, football, Boy Scouts, doing stuff in church and the youth group. She was always right there cheering me on, at every event, supporting me. My mom was, she's just the most supportive mom anyone could ever ask for, so it makes her the best in my eyes.
So I talked a little bit. That's great, man. And moms are great for that. For even when it hurts, giving us encouragement for doing something that's right. My mom, as I mentioned earlier, can make some pretty mean potato salad, but everything she makes is delicious. But you guys remember in A Christmas Story where Ralphie says that the narrator says, "My mom hadn't had a hot meal in like 15 years, or I forget how long it is, because she's always getting up to serve others." That's my mom. And she wants to make sure everybody has what they need, what they want. If anybody's asking for something, she jumps up and gets it. My mom is a hospitality guru and always takes care of others. But I think one of the things I've really appreciated about my mom, especially at this point in my life, is her resiliency through hard times and her meekness. That she and Mom, I am just saying this because you're here. She is the definition of meekness. She is not weak, but she is gentle in her strength, and she comes across fighting for peace, but she, what she thinks, but she always communicates with such gentleness, though. That's the thing. So I love that about her.
Now I have to go get a Kleenex.
Okay. All right. I was going to ask if that choked you up any, because I was hoping to.
We should have had this music playing.
Targeted.
That's right. Okay. So we got great moms, and not everybody has a great mom. and we understand that. But everybody does have a mom. It's just, it's nature. We all have that. Even Jesus had a mom, and he didn't have a biological dad, but he had a biological mom. And one of the things that I love about Jesus is it's something that might be overlooked in Scripture a lot, but it's at his crucifixion. I mean, as he's going through a horrendous death, he's looking down at John and his beloved friend, and then his mom, and they're next to each other. And he tells John, "Behold your mother," talking about his mom. And he's making sure in those final moments that his mom is cared for. And it says from that point forward, John took Mary into her home and cared for her as his mother. And so Jesus even talks about the importance of valuing moms and making sure that they are taken care of. So we kind of talked before the show that mothers play a very important role in the spiritual health of a home, nurturing that and bringing children up in the knowledge of the Lord. How have you guys seen that, maybe in your moms, or if you have kids, how you've seen that? Or let's just talk about that a bit. Why is that so important? Why are they so important in that role?
We hear all the time that men are supposed to be the spiritual leaders in their home, and obviously I believe that we are commanded by God to be that, but that doesn't mean that we negate the fact that moms play such a critical role in that as well. And in fact, my mother cultivated that just idea of centering God around everything that we did in our home. And she was always the one leading us through family devotions. And I grew up as an Army brat. And so my dad wasn't gone all the time, but there were periods where he was gone training and overseas and things like that. And so, that role was one that she never shied away from, but was always one that showed us through the way that she served, that she was dedicated to the church, but also that she was fostering conversation and discussion about the things of God, and challenging us in our faith, and challenging us to pursue Christ wholeheartedly, and to be gospel centric. And I see that in my wife now, which is amazing, because we homeschool, and my wife obviously teaches homeschooling from a Christian perspective, and does it in a way that helps center our children on the gospel and kingdom things. And so moms are amazing in that fact, and that not in every case does the mom spend more time with the children than the dad, but it just seems like by nature a lot of times that can be the case. Their relationship with the kiddos, and being able to pour Jesus into them as being, the person oftentimes who's spending the most time with them, is just so key. And when moms are doing that and committed to it, it's powerful. And being a youth pastor and seeing kids who had moms that poured Jesus into them, you could tell a difference in those young men and women than ones who did not.
Word. No, it's true. My dad was in the Marine Corps. He deployed a ton. So mom raised all of us, and she's the one that led me to the Lord. And I just want to shout out to my baby mama, Erica. Love you. That's my wife, Mrs. Phillips. She's a teacher at a Christian school about a mile from here. Our youngest daughter's still with her. It's much earlier in Oregon and Washington State than it is over there. All day long she teaches children and families, especially secular families who want to Christianize their kids in this crazy world we live in. She teaches families and children about the Lord all day long. And although she does not have to, her heart is in the ministry so much on Sunday morning. She serves as one of our preschool volunteers, just doing it. Our girls live and breathe Bible stories all day long. And kind of typical pastor's kids home, but largely that's due to their mama, not so much me. It's her modeling that and teaching that, and it just comes out. Kind of cool.
I share a lot of that experience on both ends. I was blessed to be raised in a home where I don't remember a time that I wasn't taught Jesus is who he says he is. And I think as a result of being in a home with a godly dad and a godly mom, result of that is whatever that means as far as coming to faith, but doing so at a young age. I mean, that's one of those benefits. And I remember this. I have this picture memory of sitting on the bottom bunk of mine and my brother's bunk bed with my mom and my dad after church on a Sunday night. And then I was asking a question. I was how old?
About 3 or 4.
About 3 or 4. And I think we were asking questions, and I was asking questions, and mom and dad were answering, and I was baptized at 5, and but it was just kind of a natural result I felt of being raised in that home. And although I love my dad to death, I would consider myself a mama's boy. I always have found a great comfort in her. And kind of the same thing, she affirmed everything that we were being taught, just in the way she lived. And then seeing it in my wife, I was in ministry, and I was gone, during the day a lot, even when we were homeschooling our kids. But I didn't do a good job as the dad, kind of setting the tone, at least not in a healthy way in my family. And so my wife, she filled that gap better than I probably could have done on my own, in discipling our girls and making sure that we were very intentional about the things we were doing, to direct them towards Jesus and see how he just is a part of everything that we do. And my girls, where they are now as young adults, pursuing God, they are who they are because of her. And if it was just me, or if she's just like, you're the man, you do it, and whatever happens, they would be in a much different place. So we owe really where we are to her investment in their lives.
Right guy.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say that I definitely think that my mom, looking back at my upbringing, I spent a lot of time with my mom because my dad, he works hard, has always worked hard. So he was, not always at home, especially sometimes when I was younger, he worked nights sometimes. So there was a lot of times that, it was just my mom with me and my brother for periods of time. And my mom always was the best at, both my parents did a really good job of this, but my mom was such a great example of just being someone with a heart of, service, just that when at church and at, with other people, friends, family, she was always so quick to just give of herself and of her time to help other people. And that to me was one of the best examples that a parent can show their child, growing up is, this is how we interact with other people, and this is how we help people. And that's a part of our witness, and the fact that we are Christians, that is an extension of us. And she was always, quick to volunteer whenever there was a need. She always had a desire for working with people that are that are, maybe more need more than other people. She's always willing to give of herself, even if it may be harder than, what it might be for someone else, just because she has the time and availability. And I just look back on that as such a great example for me from a young age, that made me a lot of the man that I am today.
That question that we started with, Jeff, this was actually your wording, talking about the importance and a mother's importance in spiritual nurturing. And I think that is something that moms have more naturally than dads do. Our instruction in Scripture is not to embitter our children because we're really like given to that. I think as dads, but to discipline and admonish them as you bring them up, and then we're supposed to nurture our wives. But I think moms have that gift of nurturing. I think you need that from the dad. Here's how you discipline. Here's how you teach. But I think you need that nurturing in from the mom of kind of a patient modeling and encouragement. And here, you can do this, and coming alongside that moms bring to the table that dads really struggle with. So a mom being involved in the family and raising the children is vitally important. Mom, I want to ask you, when you were raising us, you were doing that. Did you know you were doing that? Did you have your mind kind of set on, I want to do what I can to make sure my kids know Jesus? Or was it just a natural thing that came out of you? And there's not a right or wrong answer to that. I'm just wondering, did you have like a daily thought on that?
No, I
Did you just ask if you were a natural thing that came out of your mom?
Grant.
Made your mom laugh.
That's right.
We'll ignore
Laugh
that.
it up, fuzzball.
No, I didn't really think about it a whole lot. I knew that, it'd come to mind sometimes. I think that I needed to do more because I was more the quiet one of the bunch, as you know. And I've always wanted to be that, but I don't think I did as well in that area as I'd hoped. So, no, I didn't feel like that. But your dad said you did a great job of that. So
I have no complaints.
that's
You
good.
did it though.
Yeah.
I mean, you did it. When I think back, I don't think of anything that you did that distracted from the truth of who Jesus is. And you did instill those things in us. I think it just kind of came out naturally, but I didn't know, like, for me, there was never like this, oh, today I need, but there were pockets or moments where I should have done this different. And so I think that's encouraging, though, maybe to other moms that are listening, that even if you don't think about it every day, it's just you live in your life, modeling that can be such a benefit to your kids.
Well, like grace too. I feel like us dads are a lot better at giving ourselves grace than our spouses and moms in the world. There's a joke about dads getting their kid a spoon. Like one of our kids will drop a spoon when they're little and we'll think, oh, I am such a great dad. I'm getting my kid a spoon. Meanwhile, our wives wake them up, get them dressed, help feed and nurture and care and put all this time and effort into our children. And they think they're doing a terrible job at it.
That's
But we
why
get a spoon and we
age
think we're
more.
great.
Yeah, that is how we operate. Guys are real quick to like, look at me, look what I did. So anybody else want to add anything to that importance of the mom nurturing spiritual development?
Well, and obviously moms do it naturally, but I think in addition to that, children look for that naturally from their mother versus the dad. And so being able to receive that spiritual nourishment from mom, I think is key. Not that kids won't go to their father for, nourishment and questions, regarding the faith, but I do think that oftentimes it is first. And like I said earlier, I think by nature, a lot of times children are with their mother more. And so that is the adult in their life that they are looking to for that example. And, that nourishment, I think, is just key. As, mom nourishes a child, physically, spiritually, equally as important.
So it's been said that motherhood is a calling. What do y'all think about when you hear that? Would you agree with that statement? That it's and by calling, like it's something that God leads women into, certain women into. What do you think about that?
I'd love to hear what your mom has to say.
Well, I think it was.
Would you say, Mom?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
I think it was just a natural thing to do. When you read your Bible and take for granted where the wives in the Bible took care of their children. It's just an automatic thing that's what we want to do, and we want to do it the best we can. And there's so many times I feel like that I didn't, but now I see you two today, and I think I did something right. And your dad helped, but I did something right too. we let him help a little.
That's right.
Does this mean I can tell a story on you?
Please.
Yes.
Well, other than trying to run away twice and didn't get past the driveway, and I had to call him and tell him to come back and get his pillow or his jacket before he left.
And he was 17.
Yeah, when
My
he was
mom was
17.
trying to help me run away.
Yeah, but I remember one time it got real quiet, and I went into his bedroom, and he was still in his crib, but he could crawl out, and he got into the Vaseline, and he had it all over the counter or the tabletop and the tool and the carpet and his toy box all over him, through his hair. And I brought him into the kitchen and set him at the counter so I could keep my eye on him while I finished what I was doing. I heard a noise, and I turned around, and he had his hand in the flour jar, putting it on his head and face and body along with the Vaseline. So that's my favorite story.
I heard that he actually did that same thing last week
He probably
at his new
did.
house.
He probably did.
Makes me feel a little uncomfortable.
Well, I have more, that's okay.
So I do need to add to the running away story. I was like 12. I think I was in early middle school because of where we were living. And I got angry at something, and I packed up a little bag, and I walked to the driveway, and I got to the end of this was Memorial Drive. If you guys from Clarksville, it's not a road that is lightly traveled. There's a lot of traffic on that road. And I get to Memorial and to the end of our driveway on the road, and my mom calls out, "Josh," and I'm like, "Oh, she's calling me back home. You forgot your pillow." So I came back in the house all mad, but I didn't leave.
It worked.
But it worked. I don't think I tried to run away again after that. So,
my question is why did you want to run away? Do you even remember?
This is one of those things you don't even know.
Mom, why did I try to run away? Do you know?
I don't have a clue. Why would you?
I know.
You had it made.
You weren't allowed to play Zelda.
That was it. That was probably it.
It's possible. Time to get off the Nintendo.
My question, other than Vaseline, what else was in the bag?
All it had was the jar.
A little too far, cross the line.
So let's move back. I do want to hear, is motherhood a calling?
I mean, I'm not called to be a mom. I know that. And I say that just being silly, but absolutely it is. I mean, as it is to be a father as well, we see in Scripture. And as children are called to honor their father and mother, I think God calls us all to those roles specifically. One of the sweetest stories in Scripture is Hannah's story praying for a child, and I think she knew and obviously wanted that to be part of her calling, but also recognized it as a calling to be the mother of Samuel. And so, I think clearly it is, and with that said, too often probably isn't seen that way. Maybe in Christian circles it is, but in our world, not seen that way. Same with fatherhood. But I think if we did see our roles as parents, as a calling versus, hey, this is just natural, or, even in sadly some cases, this is an inconvenience, what a difference that would make in the approach to raising children in a way that You're doing something to the benefit of somebody else, to serve somebody else, as we talked about kindness last week, putting somebody's needs above your own. It takes a calling, I believe, a recognition of a calling to truly do that.
I think so as well. Anybody else have anything they want to add about moms? We're going to need to land the plane a little early this time.
I think we all need to say Happy Mother's Day to our moms.
Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and get it over with. Mom, Happy Mother's Day. I love you.
I still expect it on Mother's Day, too.
Yeah.
Does this count?
It doesn't get you off the hook.
I was going to ask if this counts as my phone call. I'll talk to you on Mother's Day.
I
definitely.
know you will.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you guys think about your moms and what makes them the best. So that's right. Is that the mom sign?
Yeah. MOW.
His mouth was the O.
Yeah. Mom.
Yeah.
Is that a,
But sometimes
is that a Pacific
my yard.
Northwest thing?
No, it's usually from the Midwest with all them cows.
Mom, will you take Grant's place going forward? And we love you, Grant. Hey, and we want to, before we get off, just a shout out to all the single moms out there that are doing it on their own. We know it's tough, and you're trying to fulfill two roles, and not two
Bag of wolves,
but like two roles, like
Not those roles.
We're with you. And we love our moms. We love all the moms out there. Keep crushing it. We're praying for you. And let us know what makes your mom the best. Mom, thanks for being on. Any final words of wisdom?
Actually, no. I don't know.
You've given them all.
I've given them all.
Stay out of Vaseline.
Yeah,
Stay
yeah.
Vaseline.
Well, thank
Happy
you.
Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Thank you.
That's right.
Yes. And I love you, Mom.
Love you.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. We're out. That was so good.
Oh, your mom really just bounced.
She's like, I'm out. Mom, are you still there?
I'm still here. I can hear you.
Okay.
So be careful.
I thought you were like, I'm done.
Now, hold
Tired.
on.